This is the first time I'm going to be playing poker in over a week. We made it to the win. I'm going to go play some 2-5, but if they have a list, I'm going to put myself on the 1-3 no limit game. Maybe we'll play that for a little bit, depending on which has a longer list. I've been getting a lot of experience the last few weeks playing the main event and running deep, playing on Hustler Live Casino and losing 8,000. But when we lose, we learn valuable lessons, and that's the beautiful thing about poker. I hope you guys enjoy the vlog. I'm going to be breaking down every single hand. Here we go. My first hand of the session turned out to be a crazy one. I'm in late position. There's a few limpers in front of me. I look down at 3-4 of hearts, and I'm in a small poker game, 1-3. I decide to raise to 15 bucks. The button calls. The small blind raises to 90. It gets back around to the limper in front of me, and he somehow finds a call after limping. I thought for a little bit, because the guy in front of me also called, I decided to call and see a flop because I'm going to be in position. Even if the guy on the button calls, I'm ahead of 2 players. I make the call. The button folds. We're headed to a flop 3 ways, and it comes out ace 4-6 rainbow. We flop bottom pair. It goes check. The second player only has 90 bucks behind him, and he puts in 85. I'm now thinking I need to hit a backdoor straight or a 3 or a 4. He's probably got an ace king, ace jack, ace queen type of hand. I make the call because it's such a good price. The small blind original razor pre-flop folds. We're headed to a turn card, which comes out the 9 of hearts. Basically no more money to put in. My opponent has $5. I make the call, and the river comes out the 3 of clubs, and we make 2 pair on the river. My opponent shows ace king of clubs. He had what I thought he had, and the only reason I called was because we could hit a 3, 4, or a backdoor straight, and we ended up hitting 2 pair, taking down a massive pot. I'm now in a 2-5 game on the button with pocket 9s. It's a straddled pot of $10. Gets around to me. I decide to make it $40 to go, inviting people to call this hand. In case we hit a 9 on the flop, I want to have a lot of money in there. Under the gun +1 ends up raising to $100, which gets everybody to fold. The action gets back around to me. I think for a little bit, but I know I'm calling here because I want to play a heads up, hoping to flop a 9 or some undercards. The flop comes out good for my hand. It's 8-8-4 rainbow. My opponent now thinks for a little bit before betting $50, and I'm in position here. I don't want to throw in a raise because I don't think my opponent hit that flop, and I want to give him another opportunity to bluff into me. So I make a smooth flat call. We're headed to a turn. The turn comes out a queen. My opponent now bets $75. He's showing signs of weakness. The queen isn't the best card if he had ace queen, but I'm now thinking I have the best hand. I don't want to wait for the river, so I just decide to push all in for $400 more, which puts him all in. He makes a quick call, which I didn't want to see. I wanted to see him think for a little bit, but we head to the river, which is another queen. I flip over the pocket 9s. He's got ace king. We made a strong read, and it paid off for a nice size pot, and we busted out a player. My bet on the river is going to shock you in this hand. We're looking down at 7-8 of hearts. I'm in late position. I make it 15 to go. A lot of players folded in front of me. The small blind calls for 15. We're headed to a flop heads up. The board comes out ace king 4 with 3 diamonds. This flop is good for my betting range pre-flop and worse for his. He checks. I decide to continue for 25 bucks. He makes a pretty quick call. The turn comes out a 3 of clubs, which doesn't affect the flop. It's pretty much a blank. My opponent checks, and now I want to go bigger, letting my opponent know that I have a hand here when I really don't. I bet $75 into about 100, and my opponent looks like he's going to fold. He's shaking his cards, looking at them. Normally that's a sign of weakness. He eventually makes the call for $75, and now we're headed to a river. But keep in mind, I don't think his hand is that strong. The river comes out the jack of spades. It gets very interesting because my opponent now leads for 150 on the jack. The flush didn't get there. Unless he had queen 10 with the queen of diamonds, he doesn't get there. So now I'm thinking, is he trying to bluff me to get out of this hand? I decided that I don't think he made the flush, obviously because it didn't come. So I now raise to 350, looking like I want to invite the call for $200 more. My opponent thinks for a while. I decided to make a great bet. He folds his cards. We take down a massive pot with 8 high. My opponent shows an ace. Most likely he had the queen of diamonds with it, hoping he could hit the flush, but we got him to fold top pair. We're taking a break right now. I got some fried rice. I got $13.50 in front of me. In for 500 total. We're up 350 at the 2-5 table. It's a fun table, just learning a lot. That's all I want to do is get better at this game of poker that we all love. Taking a little bit of a break, and then we'll come back and play 2 more hours tonight. We picked this one up late after I already 3-bet. I made it 45 in late position with ace king of hearts, a beautiful hand. My opponent calls. We're going heads up to a flop. It comes out 5, 6, 7 rainbow with 1 heart. My opponent checks. I bet small for $40. He thinks for a while, eventually decides to re-raise to 140. He's got about 450 bucks behind. Now I'm thinking, what could he be raising with here? He definitely doesn't have 8-9 because he would want me to bluff later on. He probably has maybe an 8 or a 4 for a draw. That's what I'm thinking. I have 2 overcards. I could potentially hit an ace or a king. A heart would improve my hand. So I decide to call in position for 140. We're now headed to a turn card. The turn comes out the 7 of diamonds, which is very interesting. He now goes all in on the turn of a 7 of diamonds with $477. And I head into the tank. What could he possibly have here? If he has an overpair to this board, I guess he's not scared. If he has 8-9, he's not scared of this 7 that pairs the board. It just feels so bluffy to me when he goes all in and bets massive on the turn after kind of slow playing it and not being super aggressive before then. So I take my ace king after thinking for 2 minutes and I call. I just wanted to see what he had. It wasn't much money. I needed to see his cards. The river comes out the queen of clubs. He flips over pocket jacks, which obviously beats my ace king. I paid for a lesson in this hand to get some information on what certain players are capable of with a chance to win. If an ace or a king came, we pay them off, we learned a lesson, and we move on to the next hand. When you're not making any hands, the only option is to bluff. We have ace-queen offsuit in early position. There's a limper in front of me. I raise it to 20. It gets around to the big blind who calls as well as the limper. We're headed to a flop 3 ways now. It comes out jack 4-6 with 2 clubs. They check it to me. I bet pretty small for 35. Big blind calls. The other player folds. We're now heads up to a turn. The turn comes the 9 of hearts. It brings 2 flush draws. It brings multiple straight draws. My opponent checks, and now I'm thinking I want to make a reasonable size bet. If he's on a draw, we could try to get him out of it. If he's got a jack with a medium-sized kicker, maybe he folds. I decide to bet 110, looking like I'm very strong. He obviously doesn't believe me. He calls the 110, and now we go to a river. The river is the 5 of spades. The flush doesn't get there, either of them. The straight only gets there in a weird way if he had 7-8, if he had 2-3, which I don't think he has either one of those hands. He checks, and I decide to make a very nice 3/4 pot size bet for 275 on the river, praying that he folds. I don't have much behind. If he goes all in, obviously I'd be folding. I'm banking on him folding. He thinks for about a minute and a half before laying down his cards. We showed signs of strength to get our opponent to fold. Sometimes you just have to bluff. Just cashed out for $1,011. I played 1-3 for like 30, 40 minutes. I took 500 to 1,000. And then we played 2-5 where the game's a little bit different. I ran up a stack from 1,000 to about 15, 1,600. Played some good hands, as you saw earlier in the video. And then towards the end of the night, after I was eating, I had ace king of hearts. It just felt like the guy was bluffing. I mean, I had to just continue and see it through, especially since he only had 430 on the turn. When he bet out on the flop, I didn't think he had an overpair. I thought he probably had like a king, queen, ace, queen, something like that. I didn't think he had jacks the way that he played it. Congrats to that guy, though. If he played it and I had any other hand, not ace king, I would have beat him. But that's how it goes in poker sometimes. I could have hit an ace or a king as well in the river. I did have outs. Congrats to that guy. He played it well. But then at the end, we chipped up a little bit. I went from 500 after that hand all the way back up to $1,000. Ended up breaking even in the 2-5 game, exactly even. I won 500 in the 1-3, but I'm learning a lot. And that's the most important thing. I'm putting myself into these situations where I need to make decisions. And I'm thinking about the hand after the fact and learning so the next time I won't make that mistake again. So I lose the $1,500 pop, but I learned a valuable lesson that'll save me money down the road in the future with that ace king. Probably a 2-5. These guys aren't willing to bluff it off there. But when he goes all in, just looks like a bluff. I don't know why he would do that with pocket jacks. If he's thinking I have aces or kings, maybe he was bluffing, but it is what it is. Overall, very fun session. I learned a lot and I won. I won 510 bucks on the day. I'm happy with that. Thank you guys for watching this YouTube vlog of my poker session. We're on a brand new account for Blez Poker on YouTube. I'm excited to bring you amazing content of my poker journey. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.